Well, it's the fastest 2 minutes in sports and one of the hottest tickets to get each year, the Kentucky Derby. So I'm going to get ready with my... I didn't want to start with this so people wouldn't know what I was talking about. If you're one of the millions of Americans who love to watch the Derby but can't make it in person, our next guest is going to show you how to host a perfect and authentic Kentucky Derby watch party. Melissa Rift is a whiskey expert who knows a thing or two about the Derby experience, and she is joining us from the Old Forester Distillery in Louisville to help us out. So Melissa, what is your favorite thing about the Kentucky Derby each year? I think I can predict your answer. What's your favorite thing?
Well, as a local Louisvillian, I love celebrating Derby because it showcases everything I love about my hometown: the bourbon, the food, the fashion, the hospitality, and of course, sipping a mint julep at the races, always my favorite.
I love the mint julep. So I recently have been incorporating mint into like even just my water on a daily basis. And I love what it adds to a cocktail. So how did the mint julep become the official drink of the Derby? And how do we go about creating the perfect and most authentic julep at home?
Well, the history of the mint julep is really interesting. It actually predates the Derby, which has been running for 149 years now, but it has a long time relationship with the horse racing industry, starting with folks working at the horse farms and behind the track, using it as a restorative in the mornings to wake themselves up and maybe soothe some aches and pains from the day's work before. And then later on, silver and pewter julep cups being used as trophies of celebration for jockeys winning the races. So in 1939, it was officially made the drink of the Kentucky Derby, but it does have a long history in the industry. As far as making a mint julep, it's really simple. The ingredients are pretty basic, stuff that you should have around the house, or is easy to get. And my favorite part of it is you build it right in the glass you're going to drink it out of. So let's get into it. You ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to start with simple syrup, which is just a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar and water. And we're going to put 3/4 of an ounce into our glass and top with about 8 to 10 mint leaves from our mint sprig. And now we're going to muddle those leaves. We just want to lightly bruise them. You don't want to over handle or muddle your mint because it can get a little bit bitter and throw off the balance of your cocktail. So just a light bruise to let those aromatic herbaceous flavors come out. And then we're going to top with, of course, my favorite ingredient, 2 ounces of Old Forester 86 proof. So throw that in there and give it a good stir. One of the best qualities of a mint julep is that it's refreshing, it's cold, hot days at the track, it's the best thing to have in your hand. And so we want to get it really cold with even more crushed ice going onto the top. If you like a classic mint julep, this is the perfect way to make it. If you're looking for something a little bit different this year, we are featuring something we're calling a French julep, which is just our take and homage to our French heritage here in the city of Louisville with a little bit of Chambord right on top of that classic julep. It's going to give it a nice black raspberry spin. And then, of course, your mint sprig as your garnish. You want to get those aromatics coming off the top of your cocktail, so you just want to give that mint a little slap on the back of your hand before garnishing, and you have made the perfect mint julep. Cheers. Just remember to drink responsibly.
That is such an easy cocktail, and what I really liked when you gave us a little history lesson that we can drink it in the morning because that's what they did when they created it. So, okay, we know what we're going to be drinking. What else do we need to have the perfect Derby watch party?
So I always say if you're going to have good cocktails, you also have to have good food. And the Kentucky Derby has really interesting food traditions. A couple of my favorites are pimento cheese and Benedictine. Great as a spread on a sandwich, but also good as a dip if you want to serve it with crackers or pretzels. And then for your dessert station, always recommend picking up a Derby pie. That pecan and chocolate combination, it just gets you in the mood for Derby. And in addition to the food, I also encourage people get into Derby fashion. It really elevates your party. It allows folks to show up with their own kind of spin on Derby style, whether it's bright colors, a little bit of flair, a big hat. And then last but not least, getting people engaged in the race. You can have folks pick their favorite horse by name, favorite jockey silk. You can put all of them in a hat and folks draw them out. Just anything to get folks cheering on their horse during that fastest 2 minutes in sport makes for a great party environment.
I am actually in Derby fashion today just for this segment. So let's talk about the whiskey. And I know for a lot of people this can be intimidating, but you're the expert. So what are your tips for picking the perfect whiskey?
When it comes down to picking the perfect whiskey, I think it's all about finding what flavor profiles work for you. And you can start with broad categories, whether you like a lot of spice in your bourbon, a little bit more fruit-forward flavors, some confectionery and desserty flavors. Really hone in what speaks to you as far as flavor profile, and then you can start looking for that to show up in different whiskeys. One of my favorite things about Old Forester is we have a broad portfolio with a lot of different flavor profiles that meet those different preferences.
It is an intimidating spirit, but really once you start to get that discerning palate, it's such a treat to enjoy and sip on and then create your mint juleps. All right, thank you so much for being here. Where can we go for more information?
For more information on our whiskey portfolio, as well as tips and tricks on hosting your Derby party, you can find us at oldforester.com.
Okay, perfect. Happy Derby, my friend. Cheers.
Happy Derby. Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Coming up next, imagine finding out you had a twin you never knew about. Next is an incredible story about how one business came to be. Plus, we take a look at some of the hard work done by students exploring STEM education and how iStock is helping small business owners just in time for Small Business Month. Stay right there.